Okay, while we're waiting to hear from Galen about our stage, I want to hear from Rich Monje, who is a long labor leader in the city of Philadelphia. He's going to say a couple words, and then we're going to go over on the stage. Rich.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good to see you all here. I think this is a momentous occasion where we can begin to transform politics in this country. It may have taken 30 or 40 years for us to get to this point where we're sick and tired of things, but having these discussions, having these talks should only lead to more organization, more discipline, and a more focused political program of the working class, including all its constituent groups. What's happening in the African American community, disinvestment, police brutality, what's happening to women, constant attack on their reproductive rights, what's happening to unions, the inability to keep up with the cost of living, all requires for us to take a look at the economic model that's being used for us and changing it. So I'm glad you're all here, and we're
going to go to the stage. Okay. Okay, Guillermo, Mark, Larry, come on, you guys. Let's join together. We're going over to the stage. Stay next to me. Thank you. I know. The street if I need to, right?
Gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen.
And I have your attention, please.
La gente, por favor, presten atención. Cheri Honkala va a hablar. Ella fue la vicepresidenta del Partido Verde en el 2010 y hoy quiere decirles unas palabras.
Stay up here, Sandra! Okay, now the sound is off. All right, I bring you greetings from poor and homeless families in the city of Philadelphia. Right now, I would like to call to the stage Richard Monje, who is beginning to talk to us in the street, who's going to say a few words about what's happening in our country. Labor leader, Richard.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. I'm very glad to see you all out here today. As I was saying, that I believe is a very momentous occasion, but not a momentous occasion in terms of today, in terms of the last 30 or 40 years. Some of us saw in the 1980s what Ronald Reagan was doing, how they were trying to reconstruct against the unions demanding concessions. Well, it's taken us a little while longer to get to the point where we realize it's not going to stop. They're not going to come back and say, okay, well, the crisis is over. We're going to put back their programs. We're going to give raises to the workers. Hasn't happened, ain't going to happen. We got to organize ourselves to take what we need. And over the last 30 or 40 years, we have demonstrated. We have marched.
Thank you.
We have sat down. And it hasn't budged the Democratic Party, and it certainly hasn't budged the Republican Party. But one thing that it has done is it's opened our eyes and our neighbors and other workers and other poor to realize that it ain't going to come to them by identifying some personality, a Clinton, or anything else. We have to build a base that has a program that imposes its will upon the politician or gets them out of the way. And we're at that point. I spent a year and a half, 2 years going around with Jill Stein around the country, her talking environmental. And I spoke about labor, trying to break down the barriers that are built between us as if we're separate struggles. All of the struggles are divided into individual routes or paths, because at one time we could achieve little concessions from the economy, little concessions from Congress. That period is over. We have to realize that we have to organize and take what we need and impose it upon them. So I encourage all of you to take the spirit of today after we're done and look forward and make plans that how do we organize the overwhelming majority of these people, our neighbors, people in the PTA, people at the parks, people at the playgrounds, the young in high school. Everybody must know what we're trying to do. And we're trying to do away with the economic inequality that leads to the brutality in our communities, whether Latino, African American, and there's no doubt that there's a need for a slogan, Black Lives Matter, because of what they're doing to that community. But we also have to go further than that. Even if by chance we manage to curtail the deaths under the hands of the police, doesn't solve the economic problems, doesn't solve the problem of no investment in those working class communities like Detroit, like Cleveland, like Flint, Michigan, like Baltimore, like South Central Los Angeles, that is spreading all over white communities. This is a crisis moment, and we must act as if it is a crisis. We must organize day and night to build that base, that understanding, and that trust between us. I know we have differences amongst us, but let's not fight till after we win. Why are we going to fight now and say, oh, I'm not going to work with so-and-so, or I don't like the other person, or I don't like what they say? God damn it, we're fighting over nothing. They have everything. Let's build trust, let's build organization, and no struggle ever won without discipline. Thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce somebody that has become a new friend of mine, who began to speak up and be brave in this country. You see, as a poor woman in Philadelphia for years, I know that the Democratic Party has kicked me down the stairs 1,000 times. So, when I was able to sit down with this young woman and begin to form an important partnership, I knew that a change was going to come for real in this country. I'd like to introduce Black Women for Bernie, Yarnay.
How you guys doing today?
quite beautiful, even in this heat. You guys got sweat, but you're still beautiful.
Thank you.
Funky, but we still sweet. We are here, we are fighting, we are changing the world. And I'm going to tell you a little bit, but then, you know, what I was asked to do was to start this off with some songs. So I'm not going to say much, but I just want to tell you that it's been, you know, so anybody who was born at least like in the 70s, you know, will remember that there was a period of time when our televisions were overrun with those commercials where we needed to send money to help feed people who were starving in Ethiopia. Anybody remember those, right? And those I mean, I was a child when I would see those videos and they would hurt my heart, they hurt me to my core. And, you know, it was how I discovered that there were people who didn't have food. I had a secure home, but that's how I discovered that there were people who didn't have food. And that immediately initiated activism within my spirit. And it has been my life's goal and my dream to transform that reality, eradicate poverty, create equality, to bring that to fruition. And this is the moment when I feel like that possibility is here. And it's because I know I'm not alone. I'm with all of you, and we are here together. We are here together to ensure that there is no person on any corner of this planet that's without food, that's without the basics of a home, that all of the creatures of our earth are safe. We're putting them in danger, we've been putting them in danger, and now we're coming together to protect them and to save them. And so I just wanted to speak to that because that's the hope that I have. Now I feel like my dreams are finally going to come true. I'm going to sing a song that speaks to where we've been coming from. We talk about how we've made this progress, but I feel like a lot of it's been cyclical. Like we move forward and then we feel like we've made progress, but then we're right in the same place, right? Like there was enslavement, and then there was sharecropping, and then there was Jim Crow, and now there's mass incarceration. Like we continue to make this transformation. So I'm just going to speak to this one piece of our experience. I'm going to sing a song that Lee asked that I sing. This song is Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday, written for Billie Holiday originally. Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, pastoral scene of the gallant South, those bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, clean and fresh, and the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rains to gather, for the winds to suck, for the sun to rot, for the trees to drop. Here is a strange and activist who was arrested for getting involved. We know sometimes, I mean, we know what happens sometimes when people interact with police officers. We know what happens sometimes, right? What happened with Orlando Castillo, what happened to Alton Stone, with so many people. And there was a Black Lives Matter activist in LA who was intervening with a police officer harassing a woman, and that officer, you know, she got involved and they realized who she was and they arrested her and they charged her and convicted her with the crime of lynching. Because lynching on the books is removing a person out of police custody, even though what she was doing was protecting a person who was being harassed with police. A Black Lives Matter activist, a black woman, was charged with lynching. That was a serious intimidation tactic, and that is what brought that song to my heart again. So I just wanted to speak to that. That was Jasmine Richards in LA. I just wanted to speak to that, and we're going to keep moving.
Not yet. I'd like to bring to the stage, and these next speakers are going to speak for like 90 seconds because we're going to start marching, is a young woman. Some of you might not realize that, but here in the city of Philadelphia, they've taken away, the state has taken away the certificate for people to place people in foster care because of the inhumane conditions. And so I'd like to bring to the stage another woman that has suffered as a result of this city, who has had her child taken by DHS, Tamara Summers.